Hi, welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I
you too.
am Natasha.
Nice to meet you, Natasha.
Okay.
Dr. Charles, please
Thank
take a seat.
you. Thank you.
It was okay getting here and everything. I know the drive from
Yeah.
From West Palm can be quite the
Yeah,
quite
it
the
was a
traffic
lot of
filled drive.
traffic, but I was just so anxious to get here. I wasn't even paying attention to I was paying attention to the traffic, but not the
Mm-hmm.
craziness that I know was occurring. I
Mm-hmm.
just was trying to get here. Because what I've been dealing with, if I can get any type of resolution, I'm willing to drive for miles and miles and through tons of traffic,
Mm.
to get resolution.
Okay, so what
Okay.
brought you in today?
Well, hi, where do I start? I'm a college student,
Okay, going to
and
college in West Palm.
yeah, I'm actually attending a university that our family has throughout our family.
Some
It's
history in.
attended, yeah, have some history there,
Mm-hmm.
and so the issue is I'm almost about to graduate. Yay! However,
Mm-hmm.
the
Congratulations.
degree that I have pursued, I don't want a career in it.
Okay. So
That
what
may
what was the area of study?
marine biology,
Okay.
and you might think like, why did you pursue
Yeah, it's
something
a
that
difficult
you
field.
don't want to do? Well, throughout my family,
Mm-hmm.
there have been tons and tons of
Uh,
marine biologists.
kind of a family trade.
It's a family thing. Um, the reason why I want to change is because I really followed it because it's a family thing.
Okay.
However, I am more artsy. I want to write. I like to draw.
And you're not seeing any crossover in those
Um,
two?
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I would love. Now, this is where the problem comes in. I would love to, if pursuing a degree, I would love for it to be in something that I absolutely love,
Mm.
right? That I'm passionate about, and not that I'm following because of my parents. But I know that my parents aren't going to like that
Mm-hmm.
decision, and I know they're going to be disappointed in me. And because of that, it has created anxiety in
Mm-hmm.
me. It has created stress that I've never had before.
How long would you say that you've been feeling these types of feelings?
I'm going to say for 2 years.
Wow.
However, it has intensified the closer I get to
To
graduation,
graduating, to actualizing
to
the.
to actually
Mm-hmm.
getting that degree. Because for them, it is going to be this is what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
My parents, they have funded part of my education,
Mm-hmm.
and me switching would be more than me just not following what it is that they're doing. It can be, um, it might be mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they've put money towards me for this degree, but yet
It's
I
not
don't.
what you
It's not
really
what I
want to
really
do
want to
with your
do.
time and your effort.
Yeah, and I find that at night I'm tossing and turning.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
Pretty
how long would you
much
say that that's been happening?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
Two
two
years of that
years.
every night.
Yeah.
So, what kind of, if you can remember, what sort of dreams were you having during this time?
Well, it may sound strange, but when I'm dreaming, I'm actually dreaming about being in the field that I desire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's a really good dream,
So these are
but
positive dreams.
it's positive dreams. However, have you ever, during the middle of the night, kind of switch sides or you kind of
Mm-hmm.
turn? And it's like when I'm sleeping and I turn, if I just happen to awaken just a little, the reality of what I live in, that's what creates it.
I see.
My anxiety,
Skyrockets at that point.
yeah, it's eyes wide open.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm sleeping, that's when I'm at my best in regards to kind of living the
Mm-hmm.
life that I really want to have. but it's not real if it's only in my sleep. Um, but it creates this kind of walking stress.
So it sounds like to me that there's a lot of obligations that you feel you have to this path.
Hmm.
However, you're very aware that this isn't the path that you want to be on, despite success in this path.
Hmm.
And that's because of the incongruency that you feel with not being able to express yourself and be artistic.
Hmm.
So, do you find that there's any level of crossover within the two as far as between being in the field of marine biology and creativity? Do you feel like there's any sort of crossover you could find? Maybe within like the subject matter, or for instance, there's films and TV shows that use consultants for that kind of thing, and artists are typically either going to go for some sort of abstract kind of art or realistic kind of art. Being that you know so much about biology, you could incorporate those things into your art. Have you thought of approaching it in that regard?
Hmm. I had. I think I've just been so stuck where I am now. And one might think, 21, because I turned 21 2 months ago. And one might think, okay, you're 21, you're an adult. Why are you thinking this? Why can't you do your own thing? And that stress of the expectation my family has for me, and of me rather, is just so big and so much of a wall to me that even looking at the possibilities of a crossover, I didn't think about it. Because it seems as if it's just what they want, right? So it just became, this is what they're doing.
So it would
not only the degree, but the path that they're taking within marine biology.
So it would almost be like falling into the same category for you. You would feel like you're just doing the same thing that you were already, but like twisting your dream to fit it in that way. And you don't want to twist that out of that internal perspective that you have on it.
Well, I can honestly say that having this conversation with you, and I'm glad that I actually came to you, because in my head, right, I only see or have seen just pursuing marine biology, doing exactly what they're doing. I didn't talk to anyone else about it, because...
So this has been pent up for a long time.
Yeah, it's been pent up, and I didn't talk to any of my friends about it because of the fact
the shame.
Yeah, it was the shame of, and sometimes creative arts and stuff is frowned upon, in regards to comparison between a scientific field.
Right.
Many of my friends that I know, they're smarties, they're very intellectual, they get the good grades, and I do as well. But they're not really creative arts people, and I know they would say, you're not going to make any money in that.
More money driven than passion driven.
You're not going to make a lot of money in that. And my parents, they're well off because of being in the field. And for me, it's not about money. It's about my desires and what I'm really good at. It's not something, as far as creative arts and that kind of thing, it's not as if I've said, hey, because I drew this picture really nice, this is the reason why. No, this has been something in me for a very long time. But because my parents are so focused on marine biology,
you felt as though you couldn't have expressed it with any sort of level of freedom.
And even if I expressed it, it was small,
right,
to them, because I didn't make it a big thing. I didn't make it a big thing because of the fact that I know what they want me to do. And I know a lot about the field because of my parents being in it, so I know, but it doesn't mean that that's what I desire.
Of course.
And I don't want to disappoint them, and that becomes the conflict,
So what I'm hearing is you've had to identify with something that was sort of placed upon you rather than building your identity from within out, from the inside out, sort of thing. You've had this kind of placed on you in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that is difficult as a young person to have not only that placed upon you in the sense that it's not your choice, but
mm-hmm.
then it's an expectation that you're expected to live up to that maybe for some is easier to see the extent where that line is, wherever that threshold you're trying to meet is.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, it seems like the threshold just keeps getting higher every time because of how deeply valued by your
mm-hmm.
family that this profession is. So, something I'd like to understand better is, was there always this feeling as a child through, maybe a value of your parents with, like we were talking about money and
mm-hmm.
the amount of money you were making?
Mm-hmm.
Has that always been a big point of conversation and talk around the house? And then are there any events that may have occurred to kind of give you this idea that you can't be anything but this?
Well, in my family, money is not spoken about to that
mm-hmm.
regards because of them having this expectation of me becoming
mm-hmm.
a marine biologist, and they know that the money will come naturally. Right. So it's never been anything of a plan B that they gave me. So knowing the money that comes in the field, I think they just never spoke about it because they believe, really, hey, this is what you're going to do, so this is the money you're going to make anyway.
Right, it was assumed it wasn't a concern.
Yeah, so it was unspoken. It's kind of like it's just going to happen. And when I was growing up, there were creative things that I would do, but that was seen as little things, kind of like little kidsy things versus marine biology, mm-hmm. right? It was as if anything else I did was like this, and marine biology, and we've taken a lot
completely
of trips,
took over
and stuff. Yeah, it just mm-hmm. took over.
A lot
it's
of aquarium
like this
visits.
a lot of them. I've seen like every version of Shamu you can imagine, and I was like, boy, Shamu is really, really, really old. Not mm-hmm. knowing that Shamu got replaced with another mm-hmm. Shamu, but pretty much just looking at my life, everything has been around it that's important to mm-hmm. them, and not the other thwothings that I'm really good at that I would really love to be what I pursue for the rest of my life. I would just love to take some of the things that I've created mm-hmm. Or create more and have a museum. I would love to write a book, and not about marine biology.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
But I would love to write poetry, and because I do, and I would love to get some of my things published. But I know even if having a conversation with them that I would be really, really nervous about, that they would say, hey, you can do that on the side. Mm-hmm. And they'll also bring up, but you're almost about to graduate. Mm-hmm. Right? I know I should have said something years ago, but, 2 years ago.
Right, and you're feeling as though it's kind of like you're at the end of a process that you should have never started, maybe?
That I shouldn't have started, mm-hmm. but I can definitely tell you, at 18, I was definitely not going to have a conversation with them about, I'm not going to do this. Mm-hmm.
And I think that it shows a great amount of respect for your parents in the sense mm-hmm. that you want to carry out their dream for you in a sense. But I would hope that hopefully in the next couple of meetings we can start to better appreciate your dream and what you see as your ideal, because I don't think two things are congruent. I don't think someone's daughter or anyone's daughter doing something that they love and they truly show that they love mm-hmm. and being completely and utterly unloving after the fact of finding that out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're not quite there yet to where we can have that conversation with mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
but we can always think about some family therapy options and things like that. But I'd like to start next time with maybe going over a few more of these, past events and things like that
Okay.
caused some of this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really hope you appreciate, or you had a good meeting today, and
I feel
this
so
was
much
helpful.
better, though. Although not resolved,
Mhm.
it feels good to have talked about it
Mhm.
because, like I said, I haven't spoken to anyone about this, and just giving it air is really it's putting me or moving me in the right direction, and hopefully I can get to where I need to be.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll set up another meeting for next week.
Thank you. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you.
Thank you for coming in, Natasha.
You're welcome.